It's Friday, it's 4 o'clock, it's short.
Whoa, hold up,
Stop that. Sumit's not here. Sumit is skiving this week and we're in charge, you'll be glad to hear. You're in for a treat. To join the conversation this week, please do send us a comment on Twitter using the hashtag #ShortFuse. And our Twitter handle is Energy Live News. So please get in touch and let us know how much better we are.
And before we start the show, following on with the tradition, I've got a shout out to my mum and dad and my auntie and uncle, because I had an amazing time in Europe over the weekend, long weekend. I went to Copenhagen, Berlin, Malmö in Sweden, and when I was there I filmed a bit of great German engineering. Video should pop up on the screen now. So it's basically a self-cleaning toilet. And what it does is once it's been flushed, you have the seats moving and then it cleans up the loo, so you don't need an employee, someone else to do the job.
Well, we need one in the office to get all the pizzle off the toilet.
Maybe Sumit. Hopefully he's watching.
Sumit, you can invest.
Yeah. So moving on to stories of the week, getting serious, Johnny.
Yeah, always.
We've got the first story is from DEFRA, so the Department for Environment, Food and Rural Affairs. They've launched their Clean Air Strategy, and it follows on from their draft plans that was published last year, which faced a lot of criticism because the environmentalists and people said that it wasn't doing enough to tackle air pollution in the country.
Yeah.
And as you might have seen our story last week, the European Commission said that it's taking the UK to court along with a few other countries in Europe for failing to reduce air pollution levels and not tackling nitrogen dioxide. So under these new plans, DEFRA says that it wants to ban wood-burning stoves.
Who really uses wood burners anyway nowadays? So they seem quite old-fashioned,
some
don't they?
people do, right?
My nan uses one.
Your nan?
Yep.
Does she like
Alex?
it?
Yeah, she likes it. Keeps her
Warm?
nice and warm.
Yeah.
Okay, as long as she's happy.
Yeah.
But not for long, because they're going to ban them. She'll be cold.
Yeah, but there might be a few. The ban might only be implemented on new wood-burning stoves. We need to get the details on that. So hopefully your nan will still be happy with the older one.
Yep.
That's Alex, by the way. And also, farmers will be required to invest in new infrastructure and equipment to cut emissions, so it's less polluting. And local government will be given more powers to improve air quality. So to help with that, there's actually a new tool that's been launched, and it basically allows local government to estimate the impact on health and savings to the NHS and social care. And that could be done under different pollution scenarios.
Yeah.
So what Public Health England, who launched this tool, has found is that the cost of pollution could increase to £5.3 billion by 2035, yes, if no action is taken until then. So if on the proposals, there's a consultation that's been launched, and if you want to give your views, that's open until the 14th of August.
Well, it sounds like everyone should give their opinion if it's going to save us that much money.
Exactly, yes.
Yeah. I've got another story that kind of factors into air pollution. The Metropolitan Police Service have bought 11 new hydrogen cars. So those are actually zero emission cars. They use a fuel cell. They don't release any nitrogen dioxide or carbon dioxide. It's just water.
It's cleaner.
It's the only emission, yeah. So those cars, the Met Police Service says they now have the world's largest fleet of zero carbon police cars. So that's their claim. And yeah, the only problem I can see with that is there's 5 filling stations in the capital. Each car has a range of 300 miles, which is quite good. But what if they're on a long police chase last minute where they don't have time to go and fill up before? What if they run out of fuel mid-chase?
Yeah, I think that's one of the issues for low uptake of EVs in the country. I mean, the government is trying to push with the reduction with incentives in place for cars and electric vans as well for businesses. But it's the infrastructure. People are saying that there's not enough charging points in place for people to travel long distances.
Yeah, the infrastructure needs to be there first, but I think it's a step in the right direction. So
yeah.
I liked this story.
And moving on to the next story, I think this is an amazing initiative personally. It's about gender diversity. So the heads of 8 energy companies, they've joined forces to form what's called the Energy Leaders Coalition. So as part of this initiative, they want to boost gender diversity at senior levels and middle management in their companies as well as in the sector as a whole, so in the energy industry. because there aren't enough women in the sector.
No, not even in the office.
Yes, it's just me today, surrounded by 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 men. We need more girls in the office.
Yeah, girl power. But no,
and-
it's a good initiative.
Yeah, and I think it's amazing. I know it's improved because when I first joined the industry, I used to go to conferences, and with respect, I only used to see middle-aged men, bald, with suits. Everyone looked the same. There weren't many women. That's improved in recent years, but I think it's still a long way to go. So hopefully...
Too many Sumits and Jeffs out there.
Yep, hopefully that'll change soon with this initiative. And the 8 energy companies that's involved are Shell, Scottish Power, Ørsted, Good Energy, National Grid, SSE, EDF Energy, and Energy Renewables UK.
That's good. There's a lot of big players then.
Yeah,
trying to
very
make
big
the
players.
change.
So hopefully, also because there are big companies, they can make a difference.
Yeah. I look forward to hearing more about that. And yeah, I've got a story which is from the Environment Agency. They're saying they're making quite a gloomy prediction that by 2050, unless England makes a big change, there are going to be quite significant water shortages. And that's because at the moment, they say the infrastructure is a bit old, like there's leaky pipes and stuff going into the ground. And also people and businesses aren't really aware of how much water they're using. Leave the tap running, stuff like that, leave the hose running. These things we hear about, but that's actually wasting 3 billion litres, that's billion, not million.
That is a lot of water.
Yeah, litres every day. And that's enough to supply 20 million people across the country. And the Environment Agency says as population increases, that's going to make that much worse, obviously. So they're calling for industry and consumers and the government to drive innovation and become more aware, really, about how much water they're using.
I mean, there are water meters in place.
Yeah.
Some householders do use them now, but do you think that should possibly be rolled out a lot more across the country?
Yeah, I think people with water meters, they're going to be more aware of how much water they're using because it's directly hitting them in the wallet. So that generally has quite a good effect on making people sit up and realise.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think water meters are a pretty good idea because it's just, it makes you more aware.
Yeah, I think it might be something I might try
Yeah.
and save some water. Moving on to the next story is from Iceland. So this follows on from the numerous stories we've run on plastic waste and water bottles.
Lots of stories.
Trying to cut down on those. So Iceland has become the first supermarket in the UK to trial this plastic bottle deposit return scheme. So it comes as the government announced earlier this year that it intends to roll out this initiative across the UK. It's currently going through the consultation phase. So what Iceland has done is it has installed a reverse vending machine at one of its stores in Fulham in London, and it's part of a 6-month program. So it's going to trial and see how it pans out. So what you can do is if you were to say buy a plastic bottle in Iceland, you can take it back, put it in this vending machine. You scan the barcode, the vending machine takes it, and it gives you a 10p coupon that you can use in the store. I think it's
Is that only available in Iceland at the moment? So you have to buy your bottle from Iceland and then return it to Iceland?
Yes, so this currently only accepts bottles bought in Iceland stores, so not at other stores.
Okay.
But I think it's a step in the right direction.
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah, definitely.
The government has committed, a lot of other companies and businesses have committed to doing so, but it's good to see somebody taking the initiative first and starting rolling it out.
I'm sure lots of other companies will get behind it as soon as one does with these things like plastic straws. Everyone seems to follow.
Yeah.
So that's
and
a good
I think
idea.
we've got Co-op as well who said they were going to roll out, or they were going to use these kind of vending machines in some of the festivals this summer.
Yeah.
So you can keep an eye out on that if you're going to any festivals.
Yeah. Cool.
Next one.
Yeah, so the next story is back to EVs actually, and it's about the London Assembly, which have said that electric vehicle chargers, back to the infrastructure, the electric vehicle chargers should apparently be cheaper, it's suggesting, or free, temporarily, not permanently going on into the future, but just at the moment to help overcome this kind of initial price barrier that they're facing. So the London Assembly says that if these chargers were to be free, more people would buy electric vehicles because they can, it's a lot cheaper.
So the parking spaces are free?
Yeah, the parking spaces would be free for the EVs to charge in public. So obviously that encourages people. That means they don't have to get something set up at their house.
Yeah.
They can just turn up in the street, charge their car. and it's kind of a circular motion then, because more people will buy electric vehicles,
Yeah.
more chargers will get built, and the infrastructure needs to be there first. So I think it's a really good idea.
And did Sadiq Khan, I think he's planned to roll out some.
Yeah, it's
of
not
these
just a
initiatives.
suggestion. Sadiq Khan has actually committed to rolling out rolling out these programs to make chargers free or cheaper
Yeah.
across London. So it's something that's actually happening. So expect to see a charger on your road soon.
I know you drove one a few months ago.
Yeah, I drove a Volvo. That was an electric car. And
Did
yeah,
you enjoy it? Did you think there was any difference between driving a petrol, diesel, and a?
it's a bit quiet when you first start driving it, so it's a bit unsettling. But no, it's actually much nicer to drive than my personal car, I'd say, which is just a petrol model. So yeah, I would definitely buy an electric car, but the only object really is cost at the moment. But things like this initiative to make the chargers cheaper will bring the cost of everything down, I imagine.
Hopefully in the near future, like we've seen with solar panels.
Yep.
So that's with the stories done. Next up, we've got Viewpoint. Right, so Viewpoint, what better story than the royal wedding?
Yay, we love the
Woo.
royal wedding.
Did you watch the royal wedding, Jenny?
No, I didn't watch it, but I heard a small part of it on the radio. Yeah, it sounded great.
And one of the main things that you ran a story?
So I didn't hear this on the radio, but I saw it the next day. So Prince Harry and Meghan Markle, the beautiful royal couple, actually arrived at their wedding reception in an a converted Jaguar E-Type, which is obviously a classic car, that had been converted to run on electricity. So it has a price tag of 400 grand, but I thought it was pretty cool that they were actually using an electric car to go to their reception.
Yeah.
My only kind of question I have to raise about it is why couldn't they drive a Nissan Leaf, you know? If it's good enough for the rest of us around the country, people buying their first electric cars, surely it should be good enough for Prince Harry. He's meant to be quite humble.
Yes, but you could argue that they want to support British business, bring more money into the economy, into the UK economy, and also I think the whole point is that, from my point of view, that it just sends a good message that there is an option to drive an electric car. I mean, we've seen with stories about Kate Middleton when she wears these dresses on public occasions, and when Meghan Markle herself wore a dress recently to an event following the wedding. The website where she bought the company where she bought the dress from, the website crashed. The dress was sold out. So hopefully we can, I mean, it's a long stretch, but hopefully we can see that kind of good follow-on with the dresses, how people are being encouraged to buy the same things that they have.
Yeah,
hopefully
they have a lot of
being
influence, the
encouraged.
royals.
Yeah.
So,
So hopefully that influence carries on with electric cars, that people know there's an option to drive a greener car than their old petrol polluting ones.
But not everyone's going to be able to afford a Jaguar. So hopefully they'll influence the electric movement.
Other low carbon cars out there too.
Yeah, there are lots
that are
of
cheaper.
other ones out there, yeah.
So I think it was just overall a good reason to party and have fun. For those who did, I wasn't here, so I missed out on the big evening or big night or day.
Yeah, shame it wasn't on a weekday really, to get the day off. But
off work.
Maybe next time.
Right, so speaking of big events, we've got our big event coming up, and it's on the 7th of June at the Crystal in London. It's Energy Live Future, and here we've got Baz Lansdorp from Mars One, just giving a few words.
Hello, I'm Bas Lansdorp. I'm CEO and co-founder of Mars One. I'll be speaking at Energy Live Future in June in London, and I hope you will be there. I'll be speaking about Mars, about why we should go there, how we will go there, about how we will get energy on Mars. It's going to be an exciting event. Join us.
So that does sound like a very interesting topic to talk about, Mars One. So you can see Baz on the 7th of June. And if you've received an invite, so this is an event for large energy end users only. If you've received an invite and you haven't got back to us, please do so soon, because we've only got 7 tickets available. So these are free for large energy end users. So you can drop us an email. You can send it to jeff.curran@energylivenews.com, or you can send it to freddy.rand@energylivenews.com.
Yep, and that's not the only big event you need to keep an eye out on. We also have our Telco Awards. That's on the 28th of June in London. We've just announced the short list of finalists, so you can check that out on our website. And yeah, get in touch if you want to come along.
And just want to say a huge congratulations to everyone who's been shortlisted.
Yeah, well done.
And hopefully you're looking forward to a big night of celebration.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it. Some drinks and yeah, celebrating the energy industry. So that'll be a good night. And we've also got the Energy Live Expo, where the Energy Minister, Claire Perry, she's headlining the event. Obviously, most of you will know who Claire Perry is. She's excellent, and it'll be great to hear from her. So that's on the 31st of October. So make sure you register, get in touch with us, and we can sort that out.
Yeah, and also if you have any questions for the Energy Minister, you can send it over to stories@energylivenews.com, and we'll make sure we ask those questions on the day itself.
Yeah.
And finally, we've got an exciting video to show you, or what we think is exciting. It's a pub made out of recycled materials. It's in a town called Kamikatsu in Japan. And they've got a chandelier made out of recycled bottles. They've got old newspapers that's used for the wallpaper. Tiles have been used from an abandoned factory.
But is it as good as the
makes
John
up
Bird?
the floor. John Bird, I mean, what do you think, guys?
John Bird's
John
got
Bird
a Thai
or-
green curry.
I mean,
Sounds
I'd love
pretty
a trip. I'd
sustainable.
love a trip to Japan.
Yeah, if they have Asahi, I'm guessing, in this pub, and other nice Japanese beers.
Yes, available out there.
Yeah.
So the plan of this town's plan, Kamikatsu, it aims to hit the zero waste target by 2020, and it's already recycling 80% of its waste, which is a great initiative.
Yeah, pubs must create quite a lot of waste, I imagine. So yeah, that's a great idea.
Yeah, so hopefully we'll see a few of those here in London itself.
Yep.
And unfortunately, that is it, I guess. Any shout-outs, Freddie? No,
Not even from
unfortunately.
Sumit?
No, Sumit's not watching. He's having a walk around the Scottish Highlands, I guess.
This
with
is
no
much
internet,
better.
maybe. So what did you think, Johnny?
Yeah, I think it
Enjoyed
went
it?
well. I think you might not be seeing Sumit again. It might just be me and Pri taking over from now on, but we'll see. We'll see
Yeah.
what he says about that.
Thank you so much to everyone for joining us, and I hope to see you again next week.
Cool, thank you.
Have a good weekend.
Bye.
Bye.